I used to really love the idea of a TBR cart and a TBR jar, but lately it feels like I've been setting myself homework. And that's the exact opposite of how I want reading to feel, because reading is a hobby to me and it's something that I love talking about, obviously. I think this adds a pressure on that I should have expected. I should have anticipated it, knowing how my brain works, but I didn't. And I think it's because I got a little bit swept up in wanting to do all of the kind of booktube things. So let's get into it. So as you know, I actually only got this TBR cart about 5 months ago, and I'll pop the video of me setting it up here. I had a great time like setting it up. I was really excited about it and I love how it looks. And I actually had a great time filming the TBR carts as well. And even though they weren't like my highest sort of performing videos, I had a great time filming them, and the last one I did, I think I got like 50 new subscribers, which was really nice, and I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'm sorry if this disappoints you, but yeah, I don't think these videos are for me. Not because I don't enjoy filming them, but because as soon as I film them, I think, oh, like I feel this strange pressure to read what I've like picked, and like I've sort of promised reviews for certain things, and I'm sure some people will be thinking you're going into this way too deep, and yeah, probably, because that's what I do. I'm a massive overthinker, I'm a massive perfectionist, and yeah, it feels like I've set myself some homework. I think it kind of feels like, you know how some people, unfortunately, in school they have negative experiences with reading because they're made to read, usually it's certain classics, and then when they're older they won't read them because they associate with homework. It kind of feels like that in a way. It's like these are books that I was really excited to pick up that then I stopped being excited about the moment that I put them on a TBR. So I've actually always kept, I guess you could call it a TBR, but it's more like a whole massive list of books that I want to read at some point. And I have a list of them on my phone. I think there's about 1,000 on there. So what I've done in the past is just go with whatever I feel like and it pulls something off the list. It could be a physical book, or if there's something that I want to read, I'll just find it on the list and think, oh yeah, and then I'll buy that, either physical or I might get it on Kindle. I've never followed like a strict list kind of format. It doesn't really work for me, but I wanted to try it because it seemed like a fun thing to try, and it's very typical kind of booktube content. In reality, it made me feel kind of trapped into what I was reading, and it's silly because there's some things that this moment I actually picked them, I ended up not reading them even though I was really excited for them. So, for example, I was really excited about reading this and then I picked it in my TBR video and I didn't end up reading it. And the same thing has happened, I think, with House of Leaves, which I was also really excited for. There's a few books on here, honestly, that it's happened to. And I ended up reading most of them, but that was kind of because I put a lot of pressure on myself to read them. And that doesn't work for me, and I don't think it works for you either, because let's face it, if I make myself read something, it's going to affect my enjoyment, and therefore it might like affect my review, my wrap up. So yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm saying I would never make one again, but I think I would be more likely to do like a seasonal one, so I've got like a few months or something like that. Because the thing is, I would still make them if I was just picking like one book, because then I'd have so much mood reading around it, because I'm definitely a huge mood reader. But that just wouldn't be a great video, just picking one. It'd be very short and probably not that entertaining. So I've ended up, you know, picking 6 or even 8 because I get carried away. And then, yeah, just kind of putting this weird pressure on myself, which may sound strange, but I'm sure people out there can relate to it. I mean, I actually think, in a way, struggling with TBRs is quite common in the reading community. I think there are a lot of us who are mood readers and who really struggle with setting a, you know, this is what I'm reading this month or this week or whatever it may be. So I think a lot of people will relate to this, whether you just kind of watch booktube type content, or perhaps if you make booktube type content. I know there are other creators that don't do videos like this because they're too big of a mood reader as well. And I think for me it also ties in with having ADHD. Not that you have to have ADHD to feel this way, like I say, I know a lot of people do, but I'm very like dopamine driven, reward focused, and I have to be really intensely interested in something to be able to do it and to be able to focus on it. And I get randomly really into things, which means that some months I'm really drawn to a certain genre of book, certain type of book, and that's all I want to read. And it's not because I don't then want to read something that I bought, like, you know, for example, this. I really want to read this, but at the moment, not feeling super drawn to it. So if I picked this on a TBR, I wouldn't be super excited to read it, and I think this book deserves more than that. I really struggle with anything that I'm not super interested in at the time. I've also found that I keep getting loads of ideas that I want to film, and for example, it might be around a certain theme, and then when that theme comes into my head, I just really want to read around that. So I don't know, let's use an example. Let's say that I really wanted to film a video on let's just say horrors, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I really want to get that filmed and I really am excited for that. So then all I'd want to do is read books around it. Uh, and then I kind of feel like I can't, because I think, oh, but you should really read all of the books that you picked in your TBR last month, because like you picked them, so like you committed to them, and of course then it makes them seem more like work and like homework, and I just don't want that. And it's like, if I don't get to them, then in a weird way I feel like I'm kind of letting you down. I feel like I promised you that I'll get to them and then I don't. And I know that, again, a lot of people are probably thinking, what are you talking about? That's like, you're overthinking this. And like, again, yes, like you are right. But it's what I do, and I'm probably not going to stop. The other problem I kind of have with this is, because this is only physical books, I think I'm kind of cautious about picking Kindle books when I'm doing the TBR, and I have like quite a lot of unread books on my Kindle, as well as I'm quite happy to just, if I feel like reading a book, I'll just buy a new book, you know, whether it's on Kindle or physical, even if I have other books to read, because I just follow my mood. And if I'm picking all Kindle books, then when I'm doing a TBR video, it's not as interesting, because I'm just saying, oh, I'm going to read this off my Kindle, and that's happened a few times now. So then it creates a weird pressure to read my physical books, and I'm not one of those people who really feels driven to remove their physical TBR. In fact, to me, it just doesn't make sense for me. I know that other people like it, and I know those videos, those I can't remember how people call them, but like, you know, reading my entire physical TBR, for example, they are very popular. But for me, it'd be like having a wine cellar full of empty bottles. Like, I want to have quite a big physical TBR. Not necessarily massive, but I'm very happy with the size it is. I've got no impetus like to bring it down, and I know that I'll just get to them when I feel like. So there's kind of that element to it as well, and that's also why you won't see one of those videos on my channel. I tend to like to have a lot of unread books that I can know that I just will get to whenever I'm in the mood for them. And if I read a book and I don't think I'm going to reread it and it wasn't a favourite, I kind of just donate it. Or, you know, actually at the moment I'm kind of saving them to show you in an unhaul video, but you know, they will be donated. So it would be really weird for me to try and get through, for me, all of my unread ones, and then have like only read books on my shelves. Like, that just wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't work for me. So I think that's like another element to it. Another bit is that, like, it feels like I kind of boxed myself in, or maybe expected myself to do sort of standard booktube content. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do anything just because it like is the set formula or because I think maybe it's going to work for the algorithm or something like that. I want to just do the content that I want to make and that works for me. And obviously I want you to enjoy it as well. But yeah, I just, even though I loved filming these, I didn't like the after effect of it, of feeling kind of trapped by my reading list and not being able to mood read as much. It keeps making me go all reading slumpy. Like, I've never had as many reading slumps as I have recently, and I think that the kind of pressure to feel like I should read a certain type of thing is adding into it. And yeah, the kind of feeling boxed into needing to do a certain type of content. And that also kind of brings me to my name change. You may have noticed that I'm not Chess's Boot Nook anymore, I'm Chess's Hyperfixating, which honestly just feels a lot more like me. And also I just figured there's like kind of a lot of Boot Nooks, so yeah, I mean, I don't think the name change is a big deal to anyone but me. And I thought, you know, I'm still a very, very small channel, so it makes sense to do it now. But that name change kind of signifies a kind of shift to me, in that I don't just want to box myself into very specific booktube content. I'm still going to be talking about books, of course, but I kind of wanted to broaden it a little bit, and I wanted more freedom to do sort of more deep dives and like more video essay type content, and also like how I did the Victorian video and the Victorian ghost stories recently. That one, it was not a super well performing video at all, but I loved making it. I had such a good time making that video, and it wasn't what I would think of as traditional booktube content. It kind of mixed my other interests like Victorians and history, and yeah, my love of ghost stories, which is closer to booktube, and I want sort of the freedom to be able to expand, whereas I don't want to be stuck in, I have to keep doing TBRs every month and I have to do a set pattern of videos, if you like. Let's go into what I'm doing instead. So what I'm doing instead is going to be back to what I've always done, which is reading whatever I like, whenever I like, letting my curiosity be the drive and my interest be the drive, and then of course sharing that reading experience with you. And you know, it's not like I say, I might still do TBRs in some capacity, but they might be like seasonal TBRs where I pick some books, but they're going to be stuff that I'll read over the next 4 months, so I don't feel like I have to read this, you know, in the next 4 weeks. And then I might do like, I've seen people call them piles of, like piles, God, well, I'm so mature, like a pile of possibilities rather than a TBR. So things that you might read, but you're not pressuring yourself to read, things that you're thinking you'd like to get to. That also brings me to, what do I do with this TBR card? Have you got any ideas what I could do with this instead? Because it's not going to stay as a TBR cart. But it's a shame because I do like the cart. I'm not sure whether the cart's going to go completely or I might just rebrand it into something else, but I'm not sure what. So if you've got any ideas, then do let me know. But what I'm thinking is, and I will probably film this, I will be putting these back onto my shelves just to get to whenever I get to them. So I'm going to need to reorganise my shelves. I will say I filmed a video reorganising my shelves a few months ago. It took 5 hours. I took every single book I owned off the shelf, every single one. My husband helped me. We cleaned them all, hundreds of books on the floor. 5 hours. It was really hot as well, and the footage corrupted. Yeah. Actually, I do have just the footage of us emptying the shelves because we recorded that separately, but then after that everything was corrupted. So unfortunately I don't have that. So I've been meaning to film another reorganisation, and this is like the perfect time because I can reorganise these back into the shelves. And yeah, I want to do something nice with this cart, and I know it's a shame about the cart because like it looks nice, and like I say, I'm sorry if you enjoyed those videos as well. Like I did enjoy filming them, but it kind of is what it is. It just doesn't work for my brain. I have to say, this doesn't feel like some form of failure to me. This feels like I tried something out, you know, I was excited to try it and it just didn't work for me. And that happens, you know, happens in life, and it's going to happen when you try something new like I am doing with this channel. And, you know, it's a shame because I did like picking the prompts, and I'm wondering if I can actually kind of use the prompt jar for something else, like some form of reading based game or something, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to have a think about it, and if you've got any ideas, yeah, you can let me know. Or like, yeah, maybe some seasonable maybe some seasonal picks or something. Anyway, let me know, do TBRs work for you? Like, do you use them in your personal reading life? If you make content like booktube type content, do you do TBR videos, or do you find they don't work for your brain? Or, you know, are you really enjoying them and you love having like that structure? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and yeah, there will be an organisation video coming up soon, or at least me emptying this cart and putting everything on the shelves and attempting to organise. Oh, also, if anyone's noticed that I have sellotape holding my glasses together, yeah, I broke my glasses. And yeah, I have literally sellotaped them together, so if they look kind of wonky on my face, or you can actually see, you know, some weird shiny thing, that is why. I'm I'm going to the opticians next week to hopefully get them fixed or get some new glasses, but until then I will have tape around them. I'm going to go now because my feet have gone completely numb sitting here. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.